As challenges grow more complex every day, progress begins with a vision that ignites discovery, fuels compassion, and changes the course of lives.
We're doing a mass balance.
Utah's universities are leading the way, advancing health, technology, sustainability, and human connection. Their mission? Not just to educate, but to elevate humanity.
The University of Utah has the ability to change the lives of every Utahn and also change the lives of individuals globally.
We believe that obtaining an education is precisely because you can go out and serve God's children.
We embrace the mission of going into communities, understanding the problems that exist in those communities and the opportunities, helping those communities achieve solutions.
We'll be able to, address hunger and address poverty and address healthcare problems and all those things that really put people in crisis.
This is the story of how Utah's academic community is shaping a better world through research, innovation, and service.
It is amazing to me when I walk around other campuses in this state. They all have this sense of doing something beyond the borders, beyond the walls of their campus, that they have this sense that there is a bigger purpose.
4 institutions, 4 missions, 1 higher purpose. Here at the University of Utah, health innovation is changing lives. Cutting-edge research is expanding and improving care in meaningful ways. The work is just one example of how Utah's universities are improving the world.
If that 500-piece herb, nothing to this family.
Sarah Hart and her family specialize in puzzles.
I got one.
Each member searches for clues and colors to complete the picture.
Okay, I like that.
But their toughest puzzle isn't the kind with 500 pieces. They've been working through a family health crisis.
We found out that I had cancer.
Stage 3 in her 30s.
And it was a really rare cancer. So typically people that are only in their 70s get the cancer that I had gotten.
Weeks later, her brother discovered stage 4 colon cancer. Doctors at the Huntsman Cancer Institute recommended genetic testing made possible by research from the University of Utah.
And then she says, I'm pretty sure you have Lynch syndrome.
Lynch syndrome is a genetic condition that significantly enhances the risk of cancer. Her father, skin cancer. His mother died in her 40s.
My mother had 4 other sisters, and 4 of them died from cancers in very early age.
Sadly, one brother waited to get tested, and last year the Bryant family lost an essential piece to their picture. They don't focus on what if they'd tested sooner, only on how they'll help families going forward.
And it can help other families. That's the key right there.
Did you find it? Well done.
I want to be with my family. I want to be with my kids for as long as I possibly can.
We're looking at a family with a high incidence of colon cancer.
This pedigree shows what the U's research has done for families like the Bryants. Blue, deaths by colon cancer, gives way to gray with each generation.
Well, you can see that in that family in earlier times, there were multiple members that had colon cancer. They couldn't be tested, and many of them died from colon cancer. In the more recent generations, people are tested, and colon cancer has been essentially eliminated from that family.
The U received the very first National Institutes of Health grant in 1946 for research into inherited muscular dystrophy. Since then, tremendous progress has been made in the field of genetic research.
We've spent a lot of time, even decades, learning the genetic causes of disease. But now we're actually learning how we can fight back against those genetic causes by manipulating the genes themselves.
Utah's unique makeup, large, well-documented families, is credited with the creation of the Utah Population Database.
That gift, the knowledge that we can bring to the world, that allows the whole world to partake of that knowledge and help us think about new therapies is very powerful.
The U's higher purpose in saving and improving lives is also evident across campus, where engineers are helping to develop a thought-controlled prosthetic hand.
There was a quote from one of the patients we were working with that really stuck with me and kind of inspired me to continue working in that space. And what that individual told us was that they said, losing a hand is like losing a family member, except you're reminded of it every single day.
Those words of a patient inspired him. Now science fiction comes to life in the Luke arm. Signals from the brain using electrodes implanted in the arm activate the movement.
Which is kind of just nice to show the full dexterity of the hand.
For 1.6 million Americans living with limb loss, it helps restore human touch.
And we've had a patient, who's been able to use the system to shake hands with their wife. And it's those really powerful emotional experiences where everything is just all of a sudden clicks.
I'm able to control my left arm using my right arm.
Applications like this exoskeleton could change stroke outcomes for millions of patients.
And using a machine learning algorithm and some robotic algorithms, we're able to control the prosthetic through these signals.
From bionic arms,
oh yeah, there we are,
to a bionic leg.
As soon as I walked on it, I remember I left and I told my prosthetist with me that that was amazing and I need to stay connected with this as long as I can because it's incredible.
Alec was hit by a truck 10 years ago.
And the next thing I remember is being in the grass in the median.
His leg was shattered and got so infected, doctors had to amputate.
And I was able to start working with these guys in 2017 and experience their device. And now where the device is today and what I'm wearing today, I'm not sure if anyone back in 2017 really thought that this is what it would be.
What makes the Utah bionic leg different from a passive prosthesis?
The processor inside the prosthesis, this kind of artificial brain inside the prosthesis, can kind of look at the sensors and generate movements that are similar to the movement that a biological leg will generate in the same situation.
Let's have you do the circuit.
It is very amazing to get on something that feels more natural and moves with you intuitively and helps you and assists you rather than taking away from you, which every other device that I wear takes away from me in one way or another.
One goal through all of this research is to take the science beyond the lab so it can benefit those who need it most.
I have an incredible confidence that higher education will bring hope to individuals. It will bring hope to society. It will bring optimism to our future.
Utah State University began as a land-grant institution. Its core mission, issues involving forests, agriculture, natural resources, and the environment. Few issues are more visible or more destructive than wildfires.
Trying to reduce the risk of catastrophic wildfire, that's what our role is.
Larissa Yoakum leads the university's Utah Forest Restoration Institute, using science and outreach to reduce wildfire risk.
So it's 41.1 centimeter DBH on this tree.
She says the best tool to fight fire is fire. Despite controversy surrounding prescribed burns, her own research on tree rings shows fire can actually help forests thrive.
So you can get a lot of information out of a tree just looking at its ring. We just have so few fires that when they start under really extreme conditions, really hot, dry, and windy, there's really nothing to stop them.
By reducing fuel sources, prescribed burns can help reduce the intensity of wildfires.
I would love it if people would start to realize that we're going to have to see more prescribed fire. It's the best tool we have to reduce catastrophic wildfire risk.
Right along the concern of fire, water.
It's probably our top primary concern when it comes to land management. This is one area that we've studied for many years.
Matt Yost, another Utah State researcher, focuses on farmland and sees himself as a steward of the land.
Any type of agriculture, food production takes a lot of water. Here at this site, we're studying 5 different ways to apply water.
His research offers practical, global solutions to reduce water use in agriculture.
70 to 75% of the water that we take out of the system is used for agriculture.
He's testing irrigation methods that waste less water than traditional sprinklers.
So we've studied this for 6 years at this field, And the low elevation sprinklers are doing really well.
Are they?
Yeah, we can put on, in a lot of cases, 25% less water and still get the same production.
Utah has invested $300 million in research for water optimization, exploring precision drip systems, soil sensors, and GPS-guided irrigation. And that research is shared with farmers all over the state.
A lot of farmers are moving from a surface irrigation system or a wheel line sprinkler system to a more efficient system like a center pivot or, in some cases, drip irrigation. And it's helping the farmer be more efficient.
These water-saving methods could benefit not just Utah, but arid regions around the world.
And so we try to work closely with them to share ideas, to build connections, and to expand what we do beyond just Utah.
Okay, perfect. Where would you like to start?
Part of Utah State's mission is also to teach. Professor Kelly Cope uses science to help homeowners conserve water without sacrificing their landscaping.
My research has identified controllers that work well, also sprinklers that work well, and plant materials that work well. And we try to bring all of that into this process and share it with the homeowner. This one's about 4 inches below grade.
Here she found broken lines, overwatering, and chances to use more resilient plants. Homeowners in the program typically cut their water use by 30%.
That's a big water savings. And if you can imagine that savings on this one property magnified across other properties in the state, we are talking about a really significant amount of water savings.
The ripple effect of USU's research on the environment extends beyond Utah's farms, forests, and families, shaping a more resilient future far beyond our borders.
And that's what Utah State is all about, right? We conduct the research, but then we share it broadly so that people can have better quality of life, better use of resources, and that they feel supported.
Here at the Mars Center at Weber State University, they're developing materials that can withstand extreme temperatures while traveling faster than the speed of sound. And the applications are phenomenal.
Since we're working with carbon fibers and carbon fiber composites, we can actually get in and see fibers.
Using cutting-edge technology like the CF3D robot, the team is creating advanced composites, materials that could one day improve hypersonic vehicles and defense systems, revolutionize energy, and even transform space exploration.
When you push the envelope for our next generation technologies, it also puts the U.S. Out there as a leader in that space.
And we got industry people together from Hill and the local area and said, what can we do here that would make an impact? And they very quickly focused in on these hypersonic composite applications. And it's great for our students because it's a leading edge field.
Turn the exposure down and run this again.
The Mars Center is inspiring the next generation of scientists and engineers, giving students hands-on experience with technology that could change the world.
And then I think we're ready to run the test, so if you want to go ahead.
Honestly, and the mentors that we have here are incredible, and they've helped share their technical knowledge, and I just have a better understanding outside of the classroom, which has been really nice.
It lets you see microscopic details on the surface.
One of the more exciting things is getting to have the opportunity to try to bring undergrads into an area of engineering that they may not know is available.
And what this does is as the fiber comes out of this module right here, it rolls across the top and it gives us the compaction we need for adherence between the layers of fiber and the resin.
It's been amazing to watch some of these students work here. In a matter of months, learning how to program this robot and coming up with original composite designs that have never been invented before.
The Mars Center isn't just about research, it's about helping students discover their potential.
When we think about the higher purpose of what we do at colleges and universities, it really is, to me, at a very individual level, helping students discover the potential that they have in them. I tell our students all the time, you have more potential than you realize.
150 years strong. As Brigham Young University kicks off its sesquicentennial anniversary, its global outreach continues to change lives around the world.
The reason why we think that global experience is so important is we don't view education as an end in and of itself.
It's part of our mission to care for those in need. It's part of our mission to position ourselves to care for those in need.
There's such a need to tap into this energy and excitement of students that aren't stuck in a paradigm and they want to change the world.
In the engineering department, that calling becomes tangible as students design solutions that reach far beyond the classroom and lift lives, taking it from Utah to the heart of Mongolia.
One of the biggest problems in Ulaanbaatar is the air pollution. Most of the pollution in the winter comes from the Gare districts. Coal stoves are some of the only sources of heat that these people have in the winter, which creates huge problems with pollution there.
Everyone's breathing this smoke-filled air and it causes significant health problems, particularly infant mortality. As we started to look at that problem, we thought maybe we can do something about it. So we approached BYU capstone team and said, here's the problem, can you solve it?
Two engineering teams were tasked with the same problem: design a gear that could reduce the pollutants inside the homes.
One team's approach was to insulate the current gear so that we could replace the coal stove with an electric heater.
We started last Wednesday with 14 people from the university, from BYU, and we finished building one structure and retrofitting 3 gears in about 5 days.
The students realize that this is real. Working with people that are going to benefit and seeing how the design decisions you made thousands of miles away are actually being implemented.
It worked, and I kind of teared up a little bit. It was really a miracle.
In Africa, a different challenge awaited: villages without water and a dream to reach it.
Who Lives sponsored a senior design project. We call this the capstone projects, right? And they were charged with the task of designing a human-powered machine that could drill a hole this diameter, 250 feet into the earth.
For remote villages where clean water means survival, this engineering challenge became a mission with a profound impact. But this story didn't start in a classroom. It was a partnership that began with a dream.
And it came to me literally in the middle of the night. I got out of bed, went to my table, and kind of drew out what I could remember. The next day was another miracle in that I got a return phone call from the engineering department at BYU, asked me if I had a project for them to work on.
So it started with a drill bit attached to a metal rod. The next was a wooden structure that we took and drilled back behind one of the engineering buildings.
And we only got, maybe 6 inches into the ground, went back to the drawing board.
We then drilled a couple feet over near Kiwanis Park. We drilled a hole in our professor's backyard.
So the very first trip we took, we went down to Tanzania in 2011, and we set it up to drill at an orphanage.
Arriving in Tanzania, it was immediately apparent the need for our project.
People that had to walk 7 miles to get water.
Anytime we were operating the drill, there was a crowd around, and they understood what we were doing, and they were excited for it.
We'd been drilling at the site for 4 days. It was hot. We went to disconnect a pipe, and we had water coming out of the pipe.
That's it! It was a little celebration. Everyone was giving high fives and cheering.
15 years later, nearly 15 million people now have clean water. The positive impact on these communities is immeasurable.
Over 15,000 wells in over 44 countries. So it's had an amazing, amazing reach.
From Africa on to Ecuador, BYU engineers are creating solutions that matter. For one man, it meant walking again with a leg built just for him.
Son 4 años y medio que tuve ese accidente. Para hacer una prótesis es hasta dejar de comer para poder guardar y obtenerlo esto. Recibir esta prótesis fue un gran cambio, sí, para mí y para ellas.
In Ecuador, access to prosthetics is out of reach for many. But thanks to BYU Global Engineering students, lives are being transformed.
It's working with people that just can't typically afford prosthetics, and this is a game changer for them.
The students created affordable prosthetic liners and foot shells, making it possible for patients to walk comfortably and confidently.
They were all so appreciative to have something that would last for longer and be more affordable for them.
This project doesn't just provide prosthetics, it gave hope, independence, and a brighter future to those who needed it most.
Para mí fue una gran felicidad y me cambiaría la vida mucho. Poderlos más que sea coger de la mano hasta para poder cruzar la calle, ¿no?
Getting to come here and work on these projects and work with these people in Ecuador, it reminds me why I'm doing engineering.
Everything we do here at BYU is really focused on a Christ-centered education. We're not learning just the concepts, but we're always learning it with the backdrop of how can we apply this in a Christ-like way.
From Ecuador to Africa and beyond, the work and research of BYU engineers reflects a deeper purpose, using knowledge to serve and changing lives in the process.
And the legacy of this university is going to be the students, because they understand who they are and they understand who their neighbors are, whether they're right next door or whether they're around the world.
The role of higher education is really to lift up humanity and generation after generation to help reach a higher plateau than the one before it.
We're in a time where if we'll lay aside the differences that we might have seen in the past and look to the commonalities, bring those together and magic will happen.
My hope for the future is that as a country, we come to recognize the incredible value of research activity and that we reinvest and maybe double down on research as a pathway for us to have better well-being, more meaningful and enriching lives.
One of the roles of a university is to teach individuals how they ought to interact with the world. And at the end of the day, their lives are going to be measured by what positive impact they have on their communities, their state, their nation, the globe generally.